Here we are at Bull Run Regional Park. We're going to be hiking a small portion of the Bull Run Occoquan Trail today. I believe it's over there around the corner, the entrance to it. There's the water park over there, obviously closed for the season. It's a very cool Saturday morning. I think it's low 60s. I don't remember. But it's very chilly. I had to wear a jacket today. Grandma would be proud. The Bull Run Occoquan Trail is about a 14-mile length. It's a one-way trail. It's not a loop, so typically what I do is hike a length of it and just sort of turn around and come back. If you want to do the whole thing, obviously you got to make sure you have a ride at the end or get an Uber. Or if you're really fit, you just do the whole thing and walk back. It's like 28 miles. But it runs through 3 other parks. I don't remember the order because I'm terrible with geography, but I believe it's Hemlock Overlook, Fountainhead Park, and Bull Run Marina. They have Christmas decorations up. They do a big light show here every Christmas. You drive down this long scenic road, and this is quite a ways into the park where we're at right now. When you drive down to where I just parked to the entrance of the trail, it's probably a good 1.5 miles, I would say. Maybe a little bit longer. I saw some deer driving, and I wish I had my camera ready. One of them was a really interesting white spotted deer. Oh, and over there, there's some camping. This is a big time camping park. They have just general campgrounds for tent camping, campers, and cabin camping, which we're going to be doing here pretty shortly, actually. I rented a cabin for Halloween weekend, and that's going to be a fun video. Oh, before we get started, let's take a look at the map over here. And a social distancing warning. It is September 2020. COVID-19 is still very much a concern. So let's get started. I'll cut here and we'll come back to something a little bit more interesting. That box on that tree, I believe, is a bat box. You'll see those sometimes in these parks. Sometimes Boy Scouts will put them up, but they're supposed to be for bats. Pretty sure that's what that is over there. Not a birdhouse. This trail, like most in Northern Virginia, is still pretty close to major roads and residential areas. I can hear construction sounds in the background. So there really aren't too many secluded, quiet spots. There are places you can go for that, such as Prince William Forest Park, or just the sheer size of the park really does seclude you. I believe that is Bull Run right there. And we're going to be hiking next to it for the majority of this walk. Big tree over there just sticking out of that outcropping. Let's continue. The trail is intensely muddy. Usually there's a small alternate route across the really bad sections. It hasn't even really been that rainy for the last week. We had one day of a little bit of steady rain, but it wasn't super heavy, so I'm actually kind of surprised it's as wet as it is out here today. I'm a little concerned. There are sections of the trail later that basically get completely washed out. I brought some flip-flops and a towel just in case, but it kind of depends on how I feel when I get there. It is pretty cold, and I do have a towel to dry my feet off, but it really depends on how badly I want to get across. But hopefully it's not that bad. Let's keep going. Here's where the trail splits. On to the right is the Bluebell Loop. That's kind of the other major trail in this park. It's not a big one. It's only about 1.5 miles. It's called the Bluebell Loop. Mostly because, depending on what time of year you come here, it is just rife with these beautiful bluebell flowers all up and down the trail. It's really something to see if you get a chance. I don't remember when they bloom. I'm not really a flower person, but I've been here before when they were blooming, and it's pretty awesome. But going back the other way on that loop will just sort of take you back to the park. But we're going to keep going this way, up the Bull Run Occoquan Trail. And it's going to start getting a little rough, I think, once we leave the park proper. I neglected to film it earlier, but near the beginning of the trail, right across the trail was a pretty big, gnarly pile of scat. And it looked like horse poop to me, but I didn't see any horseshoe trails, and I'm not aware of this being a horse riding trail. So I can't help but wonder if it was bear poop. There are black bears in Northern Virginia. There's not a whole lot of them, I don't think. And I don't think they get very big. And this was pretty big poop. I'm not a horse or bear poop scientist, so. But if it's still there on the way back, maybe I'll film it, because you know that's what people tune in for, is giant animal poop. It's our first crossing here, and our first major piece of garbage. I brought my garbage stick, and I have a trash bag in my bag, and I'm hoping we can fill it up today and haul it out of here. Thank God there is a trash deposit. I just put my big bag of trash away. Tons of garbage down this trail. I didn't even really put a dent in it. I filled up one, I don't remember how many gallons, but like a standard size kitchen trash bag. I was able to fill it up. And thank God this trash deposit is here, because I was not looking forward to humping that thing out of here. So we're about 2.2 miles into the trail at this point. Route 28 runs by here. There's a small parking lot over here. But I think it might be used for other purposes, not just going down this trail. I still have my gimbal stowed, so sorry about the shakiness here. I'll busted out, I think, when we walked back. Missed out on a few things, but we'll see them again. I just couldn't really film and carry trash and my trash stick at the same time. I'm sure you understand. Apparently this is a historical area, as many places are around here. It was a Civil War hotspot. Clearly. All right, back on the trail, and probably start filming again on the way back. Let's go. All right, I think I am calling it. I'm gonna turn around and head back to Bull Run Park. Hemlock Overlook, which is another park, is, I think it's about a mile or so that way, but I'm getting pretty hungry and a little bushed. We're about 5 miles in, so by the time we get back, that'll be a nice even 10 miles, which I think is pretty respectable. So we're going to break here for about 10 or 15 minutes or so, get our breath back, and start heading back. Let's go. That sign says, "Please keep off. This is a Civil War artillery emplacement. Please help preserve this historic site." That's a big mound. And we're going to respect the sign's request. It's a pretty typical stretch of this trail. So these used to be mile markers. They would have the mile number on them, but they've covered it up with just sort of a general what's coming up next. No ATVs, no bikes, and I guess you can bring horses on this trail. And a stick. Now, while this trail is pretty straightforward, it does branch off in a few places to who knows where, but the main trail, it's probably hard to tell in the sunlight, but are marked by these blue blazes. Route 28 Overlook. This is where we dropped off the garbage earlier, so we're pretty close, about 2 miles, 2.2 miles from the car. There are the steps up to that overlook. Which way? It's this way. I like this sign because it's like directed at the horses. Horses can't read. Check out this tree with all the roots. This toppled tree. It's awesome. No rails. And it's wobbly. This was actually where I picked up most of the garbage. It was filthy over here. I think I did a pretty good job. I know there's still a pile of garbage under that tree up ahead. It was way too much. And further up the trail is just garbage everywhere. Once you get close to Hemlock Park, it's actually not too bad out there, but I don't think it's as heavily trekked as these areas are. Plus, obviously, this is right under a road. And plus, fishermen come down here, and a lot of the garbage I found was related to fishing. So empty boxes of night crawlers, fishing tackle, stuff like that. Beer, cans and bottles, empty food packaging. And again, it's right under a road, so I'm sure stuff falls down or just generally washes up from the run here. All right, let's get out of here. Unfortunately, we just missed it, but there was a big heron just hanging out here in the creek. You see him occasionally up and down here. I haven't seen too many other critters today. Just bugs and that spotted deer entering the park. That was really cool. I wasn't even really sure what I was looking at for a few moments, but it was like it's almost like partially albino or something. The way it wasn't like spotted. It was like big blotches of it were just perfectly white. I really wish I'd been ready to capture that. But aside from a few squirrels in the woods, and birds chirping, and that heron I just saw and also missed, it's been pretty critter-free today. I don't know if you can hear that popping sound in the distance, but there's an outdoor shooting range near here. All right, let's keep going. Here we are back at the beginning of the Bull Run Occoquan Trail here in Bull Run Regional Park. Nice trail, a little busy, a lot of other people going both ways, especially as it got closer to noon. Did about 10 miles, about 3 hours and 45 minutes or so. There was a little bit of lollygagging, but not too bad. All right, it's just a short hop over to the car there, and I will see you on the next one.